testing pH and moisture during the aging process, but also tasting it, especially as it gets to that kind of 9-month range when it's almost ready for sale. This is how we determine one batch from another, and there's a surprising amount of batch variation. It's coming from a single herd milk source, so there's going to be a huge difference from batch to batch in flavor, and texture, and aroma. Always delicious though. Right, so put the plug in. This is a specially designed cheddar plug for cheeses that are a little bit longer aged. And then you get the pleasure of taking a piece. Can you take a piece and still hold the camera?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Take the same piece, sir?
Yep, you got it. Do you want to taste? So this is the April 7th batch.
Oh, man.
Which to me has lots of like a preserved lemon, like tangy quality, but it also has this like savory, like beef broth quality as well. So it's a neat component of like tangy and sweet and savory. 10 years ago, this wasn't even an idea yet. Maybe it was in Mateo's brain somewhere, but 10 years ago, this was just a hill. This was rock. So, and cheese in particular in the last 10 years has been pretty astounding to see where it's come from. It's always been there. There's always been kind of a cottage industry in the U.S. for cheesemaking, but now I think American artisan scale cheesemakers are making stuff that's comparable or better than a lot of the cheeses that are getting imported from Europe, and it's pretty neat to be a part of that and to see that grow. And obviously, we're in some respect kind of standing on the shoulders of giants, like learning as much as we can from the European cheesemaking tradition, but it's very unique in that we're kind of starting this own separate, segregated path that we're learning from each other instead of just learning from the French experts, right? So, and Vermont is the place to be for cheesemaking these days. It's over 40 cheesemakers, highest per capita number of cheesemakers than any other state in the country. So it's fun to be a part of it.
This really started with